Hey, beautiful humans, welcome back to I Awaken, the space where growth is not a glow up filter, it's the real deal. The kind that asks you to look at your patterns, your stories, your excuses, and say, okay, cool, now what? I'm Archita, and today we are going to talk about awareness, specifically the bold skill of telling it like it is. Not being harsh, not being dramatic, just being honest enough to stop negotiating with our own potential. And my guest today is basically the CEO of Proof Beats Promises. Stanley F. Bronstein is an attorney, a CPA, a life coach, and an author, but the headline is this: he lived a transformation people love to call impossible. Stanley once weighed 367 pounds and then lost 220 plus pounds, got into the 140s, and has kept it off for nearly 17 years. No surgery, no weight loss drugs, just real food, daily walking, mindset work, and what he calls constant, never ending improvement. He took that lived reality and built two clean, teachable systems, including the Way of Excellence, a framework for integrity, discipline, persistence, emotional strength, long term thinking, and alignment of mind, body, and spirit. So, yeah, today is not motivational stuff. This is practical awakening with receipts. All right, Stanley. So, let's get into this conversation and welcome to I Awaken. It's a pleasure to host you.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Amazing. So, Stanley, when did you first get radically honest with yourself? Like the moment that you stopped pretending it was fine and started seeing reality as it was.
I've actually had many moments in my life where looking back, I've had many moments in my life where things became crystal clear, but I'll focus on the big one. 17 years ago, February 1st, 2009, I was not at my maximum weight, which was 367, but I was at 320. So I was still pretty big. I was going to be turning 50 years old in 4 months. And I woke up and I had been feeling uneasy for the last month. It was February the 1st of 2009. You know, everyone likes to start New Year's resolutions, you know, January 1st. Well, I had made up my mind that that year I was going to start getting in shape. I was going to lose weight. Well, like so many people, I went through the whole month of January and I did not follow through like I was supposed to, or like I said I was going to. I did not keep my word to myself. And I sat there and I woke up and I said, Stanley, you're missing your potential. I asked myself a question. If I keep going the way I'm going now, where am I going to be in 5 years? And I did not like the answer because the answer was if I kept going the way I was going, in 5 years, I was going to be dead. And that is the cold, hard truth. That is, you might call it awakening. I call it awareness. I call it telling it like it is. It's telling yourself the truth. And the truth was, I was, yeah, you have the term suicide when someone puts a gun to their head and kills themselves. I was committing what I call slowicide, where I was slowly eating myself to death. And I didn't like that. So I said, okay, it's February 1st. I missed the January 1st start date, but I'm going to start right now. I turned and I told my wife, I'm going to start eating better right now, starting today. I'm going to start exercising every day, and my exercise of choice is going to be walking. I picked walking because it was easier. You didn't need any special equipment, that type of things. I said, I'm going to start doing this. And I told my wife, I'm going to stop tolerating nonsense in my life. And the first person I was going to stop tolerating it from was myself. That's interesting. I took personal responsibility. I didn't blame it on someone else. I said, the situation I am in right now is because of me. I'm the one responsible for it. And if anybody's going to fix it, I'm the one who can fix it. So right then and there, I made a commitment. I said, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to start making permanent changes in my life. And, a lot of the things I know now, I didn't know back then, but these are things I figured out along the way. So I said, I'm going to make a commitment and I'm going to start changing my life and I'm going to start eating better and I'm going to start walking. I immediately changed the way I ate. I didn't do everything. I did it in phases. In the beginning, I gave up red meat. I gave up beef and pork. I gave up soda pop. I was drinking those and I gave up alcohol. I was drinking alcohol and I didn't need that. I said, it does not, I said, those things do not serve me. Those things, no matter how much I like them, those things are not going to get me to where I want to be. They do not serve me. And if I continue to eat and drink those things, I am serving them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So I said, I'm not going to serve those demons anymore. And then I immediately started on my program and I started doing those things. I began losing weight. And then after about, you know, 4 years or so, I decided to go vegetarian. I gave up chicken and I gave up turkey. I never liked fish, so I didn't have to give up fish. But I went vegetarian, and I did that for 6 years or so. And then I reached another point where I was walking, you know, I was walking 12 miles a day, probably 17, 18 kilometers a day. And I couldn't lose any more weight. I could not get that last 50 pounds off of me. So I said, I'm doing something wrong here. Something's not working. Once again, I told myself the truth. And I said, I'm going to give up butter, cheese, and ice cream. And when I gave those things up, that last bit of weight that I needed to lose came off of me in 5 minutes. I mean, those were the things that were holding me back. But the whole point is, it was making up my mind that I was, first of all, telling myself the truth. This is where I'm at. I need to do something if I want to make changes, taking responsibility, and then coming up with a plan and implementing that plan and sticking with that plan. And I was not perfect along the way. I made mistakes. I didn't always do things right. But the one thing I did was I persisted. I kept going. Anytime I messed up, I didn't beat myself over the head. I just said, okay, I messed up. Let's do better now. So, and the focus was every day, try to be a little bit better than I was the day before. Be better today than I was yesterday. Be better tomorrow than I am today. I am now in year 17 of doing just that. And what I have found, the whole experience has amazed me. If you would have told me back in 2009 that I would do the things that I have done over the last 17 years, I would not have believed you. I mean, I would not have, because to be quite frank with you, I'm a pretty confident person, and yet I accomplished more than what I thought was possible. And that experience taught me three things. The first thing it taught me was that I am more powerful than I ever imagined. It's the first thing I learned. Second thing I learned was that if I could do these powerful things, it made me ask, what else out there is waiting for me to do that I haven't done yet? What can I do, as I say now, what can I do in the next 17 years? And then the third thing it made me realize was that if I could do these things, so can everyone else. I am no more special than you are. I am no more special than any of your listeners. I am just another human being on the planet Earth, just like you are. We are all special. We are all more powerful than we ever imagined if we awaken and if we realize it and if we become willing to make changes, if we learn to believe in ourselves and believe in what we can do, if we put some disciplined habits in place in our life, and if we make commitments and we stick to them. Does all of that make sense to you?
Yes, it makes so much sense, and I feel like all of us can learn a thing or two from you, and that is very motivational. And yeah, like you said, sometimes the reality can be harsh, but it is way better than living in a fake reality and sugarcoating things. So you have to tell yourself as it is, because awareness isn't just vibes, it's data. And once the data is clear, the strategy gets obvious, even if it is not easy. So your journey was definitely, it was a hard one, but I think it was totally worth it. So
It really,
on that,
it really was not a hard one. That's the funny part. It as hard as it was not anywhere as hard as I made it out of my mind to be. And once I got started, it has become easier and easier and easier. That's the funny part about this.
yeah, I mean that's actually a very strange thing, because a lot of times we don't take that step because we think that it is going to be a very difficult one. But once we actually take that step, we realize that it was all in the head, and in reality, it's not that hard. So yeah, I'm glad it worked out for you. On that note, a lot of people confuse truth with self attack. How do you teach, tell it like it is in a way that's firm but also not brutal?
It's all about perspective. How do you look at it? What is your lens? What do you think about it? What one person calls brutal truth, another person calls loving honesty. I loved myself enough to stop fooling myself, to tell myself the truth, and to start making changes based upon what I told myself. Look at it as an act of love. Look at it as an act of self respect. It's all a matter of perspective. Just like when, people say, "Oh, Stanley, what you did is hard." If you think it's hard, it's going to be hard. I I had one of my neighbors the other day. I was out walking. I'm walking all the time in my neighborhood. And she saw me walking, and she's starting to walk every day. She's working on getting in shape. And she made the comment, she says, Stanley, we're all getting old. And I said, what kind of talk is that? I said, that's nonsense. Don't tell yourself that. Your brain believes what you tell it. If you tell yourself something is hard, it's going to be hard. If you tell yourself that you're being mean to yourself, brutal to yourself, then that's the way it's going to come across, being mean and brutal. If you tell yourself that you are loving yourself, you're going to feel that there's love. And it's all in how you choose to look at it. It is a matter of reframing the situation.
Definitely. And I think that it's very important to be honest with yourself at least because, like you said, if you really love yourself, then you gotta admit it and you gotta tell yourself like it is. So it is an act of self love, absolutely. So, a lot of people feel shame when they admit certain things to themselves. So, what's a simple phrase that someone can use when they catch themselves spiraling into shame instead of clarity?
Okay. Shame, it's a matter of feelings. No, one of them, which is your body. One of the things I talk about is my whole system that I have, the way of excellence. The last part of it is about integrating your mind, body, and spirit. You want to get to where you want to get, you should start out by realizing your mind, body, and spirit are all connected to each other. Your mind feeds your body and your spirit. Your body feeds your mind and your spirit feeds your mind and your body. Your body is where you feel shame. Shame is an emotion. It's in your body. And it could come from something that happened to you in your childhood. I mean, a lot of my feelings, a lot of my emotions came. My mother died when I was 8. And I was living with my massively obese father. And we both ate ourselves into oblivion. We just ate and ate too much. And that was how we buried our feelings, both of us. And you, first of all, it's okay to feel shame. Acknowledge that you feel the shame. Stop. Okay. When you're feeling shame, there's something that I call the stop method. You're feeling shame. So, and we're going to start with awareness again. We're going to assume you have to realize that you're feeling shame. You have to say, there I go. I'm feeling ashamed again. You stop. You think about it, even if it's just for 1 second. You think about it. You observe that you're feeling the shame and you say, I'm going to let that go. And then you proceed. I call that the stop method, STOP. Stop, think, observe, proceed. Catch yourself. Let your body, it's okay to feel the shame. Get grounded. Stop. In that moment when you stop, take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Let it go. Feel it. It's okay to feel it. That's feeling it is necessary in order to heal yourself. I mean, I trust you. Trust me. I felt plenty of shame from where I was. Realize you are a human being. You are not perfect. You were not born perfect. You were raised by parents who were not perfect. They made mistakes along the way when they were raising you, and you've made mistakes along the way in your adult life. All of that is okay. The When you're feeling shame, you're living in the past. You want to, and when you feel anxious, you're living in the future. But if you're living in the present, you're at peace. You feel peace. So just stop, take a deep breath, realize where you're at, and be at peace. Let the shame go. It is okay. Love yourself, hug yourself, and take care of your body. And as you take care of your body, the shame will begin to go away. And as your body gets stronger, it will feed your mind and it will feed your spirit. And all of those things will get better. It is a process. You don't do it. There are no magic words. You can't do it in 1 second, but you can start and you can continue doing it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I feel like a lot of listeners will relate to you. And yeah, that was an amazing advice, and it will be definitely helpful for them. And yeah, like you said, shame shame is not a growth strategy. It's just bad management, and clarity is the upgrade. Moving on, you know everyone loves a transformation story, but your superpower is that you kept it off for nearly 17 years. So what's the awareness shift that makes maintenance possible long term?
I wouldn't say it's an awareness shift. I would say it was discipline and commitment. When you when you become 100% committed to something, it becomes much easier to do it. When you are less than 100%, it's harder. I'll give you some examples. I made a decision 17 years ago that I was going to try to walk every day. And for the last 12 years, I've done that. And when I wake up in the morning, I no longer ask myself, do I want to go for a walk today? Do I want to go to the fitness center today? Do I want to go in the other room and get on the treadmill today? I don't ask myself that. I just do it. It because I made a commitment. I became 100% committed to doing that many years ago. And so I just do it. It takes away the decision. You don't have to ask yourself the decision anymore. It's just like healthy eating. I made a commitment many years ago that only healthy food was going to enter my mouth. No unhealthy food is going to enter my mouth. This is the holiday season. I've had several people give me food that was not the type of food I would eat. I took it from them. I said, thank you. I was not tempted to eat it. I did not eat it, and I gave it to someone else who I know would enjoy it and who would eat it. And that is because I am 100% committed that only healthy food will enter my body. I went to Europe for 10 days last year with my wife. Most people from the United States, when they go to Europe, the reason they go is to eat food. That's why they go there. I made a commitment that when I went there, I was only going to eat healthy food. And I was not going to eat all this stuff that I know I shouldn't eat. And I'm probably the only person who went to Europe for 10 days and actually lost weight because I made up a commitment ahead of time. It's all about deciding what is important to you. It boils down to four things. Are you willing to make changes? You know, I used to think the three most important words in the English language were I love you. And I believe I was wrong. The three most important words in the English language, and this is where all your power comes from, is are you willing? Are you willing to do what it takes to get from where you are to where you want to be? If you're willing it becomes easy. If you're not willing, it becomes hard and you're never going to get there. It really is that simple. It starts with being willing. And then belief. You have to believe you can. Because if you believe you can or you believe you can't, either way, you're going to be right. So you believe in yourself. Then you build some discipline habits. You figure out what it is you should be doing. In my case, it was only eating healthy food and it was walking every day. Those were the two habits I needed to form. And I became disciplined. I put those discipline habits into my life and I broke several bad habits. I broke the habit of drinking every day, drinking alcohol every day. I broke the habit of going to Chinese buffets and eating unhealthy food every day. I broke several other habits. And then I became 100% committed to doing all those things. And like I said, it did not happen overnight. I made mistakes along the way. I was not perfect. If you notice, my system is called the way of excellence. It is not called the way of perfection because we're never going to be perfect and we shouldn't even try.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you just said, I feel that when you want something hard enough, I think your body, your mind, your soul, they know it too. And they want you to work hard to achieve that. So I think with willingness, like you said, consistency automatically comes. So definitely. And Stanley, this has been an amazing, a very healthy conversation, and I have learned a lot from you in this conversation. I'm sure that our listeners have too. So, say that any of our listeners are going through something that you have went through, and they want to lose weight, or maybe need some motivation from you. So, how can they reach out to you? Could you share with them?
Yes, I have two websites they can go to. So please list both of these in your show notes. The first one is thewayofexcellence.com. 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 That's where my whole system is there. There are four of my books are all posted on that website. You can read them on the website or you can download PDFs. It's free. I made it free because I want to help people. Now, I mean, I also work with people privately. If they want to work with me privately, they can. But I wanted to make everything also available for free because not everyone can afford to work with me and everyone is entitled to help. Plus, I'm grateful for all the wonderful things that have happened to me. So that's why all of that is available there. And the other website, if you want to specifically lose weight in a healthy manner without drugs and without surgery, go to my other website. It's called Million Pound Weight Loss Challenge.com. Million like in the number. Million Pound Weight Loss Challenge.com. MillionPoundWeightLossChallenge.com. Million Pound Weight Loss Challenge.com. Go there. I mean, if you go there, you have to create an account because all the information and it's behind a registration wall, but the registration is free. Go ahead and create the account, and then you'll get on my email list. You'll get all this other information all about healthy eating, and there's tons of resources there. There's videos available. There are several challenges that are there designed to get you started.
Great. So I'll have all the details on my show listing, and our listeners are free to reach out to you whenever they want. All right, listeners, here's your Awaken mini challenge for the next 24 hours. Pick one area where you have been kind of honest with yourself, your health, your work, your relationship, your screen time, or your boundaries, whatever. Now, do this in two lines. Write it down if you can. First, The truth is dot 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 and finish the sentence. Secondly, the next right step is dot 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 and make it embarrassingly small, like a 10-minute walk, one real meal, one honest conversation, one calendar block, or one glass of water. No overthinking, no reinventing your personality, just one clean action that matches the truth. If this episode hit you, share it with someone who's ready to stop playing small. And if you want more conversations like this, follow I Awaken, drop a review, and tag us when you post your takeaway. I love seeing what lands for you. And lastly, Stanley, thank you for bringing truth, structure, and real world wisdom to the table. To everyone listening, keep choosing awareness over autopilot. You don't need a perfect life to awaken, you just need an honest one. I'm Archita. This is I Awaken. See you in the next episode.